What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if we will get a Resistance remake in 2021. So, funny enough, I made this video last year. I talked about 2020, but I like to bring this up. I guess I like to bring it up yearly, but I also like to talk about this franchise because I do believe there is so much potential for this franchise. I'm always literally, truly heartbroken at just whenever I think about this franchise, because it was so good. I love these games so much. They're a huge part of not like my childhood, because I was older when these games came out, but like my early teenage years when I first got the PS3. I got the PS3 for my birthday, I believe, in 2009, and Resistance was, I believe, the first game I played. I played Resistance. I think the bundle came with Resistance and Motorstorm. What a phenomenal game! And then I bought the PlayStation for the game Prototype. And I know a lot of you guys know and appreciate the game Prototype, but Resistance from that moment on became one of my favorite PlayStation games, became one of my favorite PlayStation exclusives, just one of the better games that I've ever played, or franchises. I love those three games, and I really think there's potential for this franchise to come back. Insomniac has always been kind of, not like optimistic, but they've always kind of been positive about the franchise and about, maybe it still has a place basically in the world, right? Before I get too far into this, I do just want to say a few things. Number one, Happy New Year. I want to say that in the beginning of this video. Hopefully you guys have an amazing 2021. Thank you so much for all that you guys have given me in 2020. It was while it was a terrible year for the planet, it was a really good year for the channel. I'm going to take kind of just satisfaction in that, but I truly do appreciate it, and hopefully you guys have an amazing day and an amazing year. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. If you guys want to follow my Twitch channel, we try to live stream there around 2-3 times a week. Link for that is in the description below. We also still live stream on YouTube once a week. We're actually live streaming later today on the channel. So if you guys are watching this the day it comes up, we're live streaming in a few hours, basically. Okay, so this game notoriously sold terrible, and that's like, again, when I think about it, like how sad I get, it's because of that. It's because what a underrated gem, and you have to say that because it's like these games were so good, they were praised, all three of them. Resistance 2 was a little off, and they changed a lot of things, and it was kind of weird, but I actually really liked it. And these games, but they were praised. I mean, all of them did really good in terms of review scores. Everybody that played it had a lot of really amazing things to say. The games just didn't sell whatsoever. Even Resistance 3, I remember very clearly and heavily, going into that game, Insomniac, Sony, they threw more into that game than either of the other ones, okay, leading into them, and the game was phenomenal. I love Resistance 3. I love the multiplayer for these games, at least 2 and 3, right? They were so good, and the game just did not sell. And they didn't break Insomniac, but they got very disappointed, and I definitely, I honestly get it, right? So when we talk about a remake, well, we're in an age of remakes, right? We're in an age of remakes. We're in an age of remasters. The thing is this, it is tough to talk about because, well, look, we have Bluepoint, okay, and seemingly they're busy. Now, when they were teasing Demon Souls, Bluepoint makes games very fast, okay? I mean, probably it's because they're remakes, but Bluepoint makes games very, very quickly. Remember when they teased Demon Souls, and they did like that poem, and they had all the references. They had like a Siphon Filter reference. They had a Resistance, and they had all these references. And Resistance was one of them. I got so excited. I was like, please, for the love of God, you guys do it. I mean, honestly, Insomniac doing it would be amazing. The next best thing would be Bluepoint. Okay, so and that brings us to right now. It seems like Bluepoint is working on a Metal Gear Solid 1, that remake. Okay, fine. I love that. I mean, I've actually never played the game. I've seen a lot of people play. I've seen Rob Pearson from PlayStation Access. Obviously, he loves the game, right? So, I mean, I would absolutely play that game, but I really want Resistance. And, the way Insomniac is structured is in a way where they can do so many things at the same time. Okay, they can do, in fact, right now, or let's say like 2 months ago, they were doing Miles, they were doing Spider-Man 2, and they were doing Ratchet and Clank. And we don't know if they were doing anything else. It's very possible they could have been doing something else as well, right? A Sunset Overdrive 2, is that out of the question? Is again, like a Resistance 4, is a Resistance remake out of the question? I really think there's a place for these games now. I really, really do. Especially, by the way, because we're like entering a world with PlayStation with like open world stuff, which is fine. Like, I'm not saying like it's a negative thing, but we're entering a world with Horizon and Days Gone and all this stuff. I mean, they're similar in the way that a lot of them are open world. Even The Last of Us Part 2 was, it was linear, but it was definitely way more open than any other game Naughty Dog has ever done, right? Uncharted 4 kind of paved the way for that, and so on, so on. But we really have exited the first-person shooter thing, like Resistance and Killzone. And remember, Killzone was kind of that thing where it's like, did Killzone kill Resistance? Because Killzone was definitely always more popular. Resistance was always way better than Killzone. I like Killzone. I actually really like Killzone, but I think Resistance is just miles better. And, we don't have either of those. The last Killzone game was the launch game, Shadowfall for the PS4. It's been 7 years since we've gotten a Killzone game. Now, will we eventually get Killzone again? Possibly. Is it more likely we get a new Killzone game or at least a multiplayer game versus a new Resistance game? Yeah, because again, Resistance just didn't do well. But, if Sony is willing to take a shot, and look, here's the biggest thing of optimism that I have is Medieval, okay? Why in God's name would you remake that? Now, people like it. I like it. I never actually, again, I gotta be honest, I never played the original, and I didn't play the remake, but everything I saw about it was amazing. Sir Daniel, I played him in PlayStation All-Stars, a great character, okay? And I know the game because I've watched a lot on it, but, for you to do a game like that, yeah, it's a relic. Yeah, it's a game that, invokes some sort of memory in these people, but, that is a super old game that wasn't the most popular game of all time when it came out, and certainly wasn't the most popular game of all time when they did the remake, okay? And it came out of literally nowhere. They're like, yeah, we're remaking Medieval. It's like, why? Why, though? And it released around Halloween, right? So it's like, all right, well, I guess that, the launch makes sense, but, why is that the game? And I guess it actually kind of makes me mad when you think about it. You remade that over Sly Cooper. You remade that over Resistance. You remade that over doing an Infamous remaster. That is what you chose to do. So that's slightly annoying. But it does give me hope that obscure, and again, I guess it's up to your definition. It is more of an obscure game considering the portfolio that Sony has. Doing a game like that probably should give us hope on other games. Resistance is not obscure. A lot of people remember Resistance, but the games did not sell, okay, at all. So the question is, would they say, well, you know what? These 3 games were so amazing. Doing a remake treatment would be pretty darn good. It would be pretty awesome. You don't even have to do the multiplayer, though. I really love the multiplayer. I think it was one of the better elements of 2 and 3. But, you don't have to. And you put it out there. And if it sells, it sells. How well did Medieval even sell? You know what I mean? Did it sell millions? I doubt it. I doubt it sold, insane amounts of numbers, right? And I don't think Resistance would either, which is kind of tragic. And what I would say most likely stops a Resistance 4 or even a Resistance reboot from ever happening. Probably does. It probably, unless they do a remake and it sells like bananas, which hopefully, I would be the #1 supporter. Okay, I wouldn't make the channel a Resistance channel, but I would go pretty far in that direction. Okay, I really do respect and love the franchise that much. Like I said, Insomniac has always been kind of positive on it. For a game that I don't have any quotes, I don't have any evidence, but in my memory, which could be wrong, but I do remember back then seemingly how much it broke them that this game didn't do good, because they were so passionate about this game, they were so excited, but they knew back then going into Resistance 3 that 1 and 2 did not sell well at all, and so they were riding on Resistance 3, and the game just did so bad. And I just remember reading interviews from them and listening to them and stuff, and they just sounded so defeated, where it's like, yeah, wouldn't you put in all this effort, you make an amazing game, you make an amazing trilogy, you make one of the most underrated trilogies ever created, and because in my opinion it's one of the best trilogies of games we've ever gotten in the history of gaming. I would go so far to say that. And it's not the best, but it's definitely in a top tier, and the games just, nobody buys them. You know what I mean? How defeated would that make you? But ever since then, there seems to be a very I don't even know if it's a gratitudinal, is that a word? Gratitude towards the game. A lot of gratitude towards what that making that game has meant to Insomniac, back then, and what it's meant to them still now, okay? So I like to believe that it's definitely possible. Do I think we're going to get it in 2021? Probably not, but everything has to start somewhere, right? So even if it doesn't release in 2021, can we get a release date? Can we get an announcement? Can we know that at least they're thinking about it? I don't know. I'll wait for Blue Point. I guess there's always a chance, right? Because they did Demon Souls, there was the chance that they would have done Resistance instead. Now they're most likely doing Metal Gear. They probably, had Resistance on their thoughts, but they didn't do it. So it's all right, well, just allow them to keep releasing these games, and then every 2 years we can think, oh, okay, maybe Blue Point can finally do it, and then they don't do it, and then we think it again, and it's just an everlong circle, right? So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Do you think Resistance is possible? Do you think we could get a remake, whether it be announced or released in 2021, let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Again, if you guys want to follow our Twitch channel, we live stream there a couple times a week. Would love to have you guys there. Truly, I would appreciate any support. And like I said, obviously, honestly, the best way of supporting us, being here, liking the videos, commenting, all that kind of stuff. Truly appreciate you guys' support this past year, I should say, and going into 2021, we're going to have an amazing, truly, we are an amazing, amazing year. I cannot wait. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all on the next video.